So let's talk about the Citroen C3 Aircross. It's a car that we saw a few weeks back, and we had the time to reflect, do some research, and this is what we feel about the car now. And let's start with the pros. What do you think?
Yep. So let's start with all the good news first.
Yeah.
And there's quite a bit of it. First off, I think it's great that it doesn't look like just a elongated C3. Right?
Yes, it is wider.
So it's wider, it has a longer wheelbase, and it's longer as well.
Yeah.
So that's one pro, and I really like the way that it looks.
Yeah, I also like some of the details, like the alloy wheel design, or even the rear tail lamps look really nice. So yes, overall the proportions are right. It looks like a SUV. It's got good amount of ground clearance as well, 200 mm.
200 mm of
right?
ground clearance.
So yes, it's got the proportions right, and I think the biggest talking point of this car is the practicality that it offers.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think we can lead that practicality bit with this one unique feature that the C3 Aircross has, and that's it's either available with a 5-seat or a 7-seat option,
which you don't get in any of its rivals, and that is going to be the biggest selling point for the C3 Aircross. It is not only the fact that you get a 5-seat as well as a 7-seat option, but it is also the fact that it is a very practical car. You get good amount of space both in the front as well as the middle row, and the third row is not the most spacious or the comfortable, but you do have enough space for children or shorter people, so it is usable for short journeys for sure.
Yep. I think we both sat in the third row, and we kind of fit in there. Maybe you wouldn't want to sit in there for
Too
a
long.
long journey, but possible.
And of course, if you don't want the 7-seat option, you can always remove the third row and use the extra space on offer. And in fact, talking about the boot, it is the biggest in the segment. If I'm not wrong, with the 5-seat version, you get around 487. Less boot space, but still 487 liters, which is the best in the segment. And with the 7-seat version, if you remove the third row completely, you get more than 500 liters. So again, great amount of boot space for sure. And small bits, like you get a lot of charging options as well in the car. Like if you have the 3-row version of the car, you get 5 charging options in the car, fast charging options. So again, yes, your mobiles won't really run out of charge.
And also the ACs then, the AC vents for the rear seats are now ceiling mounted because of the extra 3 rows. Yeah. And those, in our experience, tend to work a lot better than the floor mounted versions which you will get in the competition.
Yeah. Now coming to the infotainment. Infotainment system on this car is the same as the C3, which is no bad thing because we feel that the infotainment system works really well. It's a big 10-inch infotainment system. You get all the features that you need. It might not be the best in the segment. I think cars like the
Seltos and the Creta or Verna, for example, do have better working systems, but this one is nice and snappy to use, and the depth of the menus isn't so great, so it's very easy to use for people, and it's still full of all the features that you need.
Yeah, you get wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, connected car tech, so you get all the features. But I think the biggest improvement that has come is the instrumentation, where in the C3 you used to get a very old school retro,
quirky looking, but it didn't have any information. So you just had 2 trip meters, and I think in the EC3 it has a little more information, but bare basic information. With this now, the depth, the display is going to have a lot more depth. So more screens. We didn't get to experience it ourselves, but
more screens meaning a bigger screen.
A larger display, screen and more menus. Menu pages which you can customize as well. Apparently. So
it's a 7-inch screen. You get around 6 customization options, I think. And you also get all the trip computers and whatever you need, all the information that you need right under your nose. So that's a great addition as well. Now talking about the engines. One engine. So Citroen didn't really give us any information on what engine option the car will come with, but us being us, we actually opened the bonnet and checked what engine the car was fitted with, and
it's the 1.2 3-cylinder turbo petrol that's also available with the C3, so the higher spec engine. In the C3, that's 110 PS, 190 horsepower, so decent performance, but not not really exciting
No, but
kind of performance.
but for me, I think the C3, especially with the engine, I think it's got enough power. It's not like the car is going to feel underpowered by any measure. So yes, even after being a bigger car with slight changes to the gearing, maybe shorter gearing, I think the car should feel more than enough for most people. And but the one thing that really excites me, which is good on the C3 and the C5 Aircross as well, is the ride quality.
Yes.
Right. So that is something that we expect to be good
Yes.
as well.
So again, no details, no specs released by Citroen, but we can expect it to be. They have mentioned about tuning the suspension. So considering that dynamically, it's already an improvement in that the wheelbase is longer. They're also going to tune the suspension, so it should be better over bad roads as well as a more comfortable SUV as well.
Correct. And this is something that is really unique about Citroën, because Citroën never shouts about the high-tech features or the looks and whatever it's going to offer. They talk more about the ride quality that they are going to offer on the car.
So while this is a prediction, we are pretty confident about this one.
Yeah. So are we done with the pros?
Yep, we're done with the pros and time to start with the cons. But that list is also quite long.
But I think the biggest takeaway for me as a con with this car is the general lack of premiumness, not only on the inside but the outside as well. For example, according to us, this car will start from around 10 lakh rupees, north of 10 lakh rupees on road. So you don't get features like LED headlamps, even the door handles are those pull type, which you expect in cars like the Espresso, Alto, or even the C3 has them. But in an expensive car like this, that we are expecting, we feel that it's a miss. And even on the inside, the fit and finish is fine, but it doesn't really feel like a step up over the C3 for sure.
Yeah. So yes, you won't get any features like luxury features like maybe wooden insert on the dash or soft touch plastics. In terms of fit and finish, everything was fairly nice, but not a step up from the C3.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel premium. And then talking about missing features, well, that's a long list as well.
That's quite a long list.
Yeah, so there are some basic things missing like climate control. Then in terms of premium features, you don't get sunroof, leatherette upholstery, seat ventilation. So yes, so all these features are missing.
And especially in this segment where all its rivals are fairly loaded, even up to their mid-spec variants with features like this.
And talking about the engine options there as well, it's a bit of a mixed bag where yes, we know for a fact that it'll come with a 1.2 liter turbo petrol engine, but it doesn't really have that wow engine that you get with the rivals, like a big powerful turbo petrol engine. Not only that, you, at least to start off with, automatic will be missing.
So in the starting, we know that there's not going to be an automatic, just the 6-speed manual. And that then brings us to the pricing.
Yes. So, so the Citroen C3 ends at around 9 lakh rupees ex-showroom. So we expect the C3 Aircross to start around 10 and a half and go all the way up to around 12 and a half, 13 lakh rupees. And that's where we feel it's a missed opportunity, because at that price point, this product feels a little confused, especially with the lack of features. It doesn't really go all out and give you that premium experience.
So this is what we think about the Citroen C3 Aircross. What do you guys think? Do let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
That's what we feel about the C3 Aircross. Do let us know what do you think about this car in the comment section below, and according to you, what should be the price of the C3 Aircross. Thank you so much for watching. तो कुछ बोलने वाला था